Thank you for joining us on the couch again with Fred and Cari, and we want to talk with you about a conversation we began this past Friday evening during Friday Night Live when we were asking the question, how do you know when you've done enough? We find in our society that it's often the case for many of us that we work and work at a relationship, at a job, at whatever situation, and we feel like we don't want to be quitters, and we can burn ourselves out in the process. And so really looking at that question, how do you know when it's time to let something go? Or let a job go, or let a thought go, or let a relationship go?
Yeah.
And so we've asked this wonderful man, our wise sage, to answer that question.
I'm going to blush. Yes, how do you know? I start by saying this, you really don't know. On the other hand, you do know. And knowing comes from allowing yourself to listen to the words, or the message, I should say, that comes from your intuition. When you allow yourself to listen to the messages that come to you from your intuition, you know. Holding on to a job or relationship indicates that you feel overwhelmed and you feel like you gotta, as though you don't have a relationship with that spirit that gives you the information. So it's a mixed bag. You don't know because you cannot know when you're uptight. And you will get uptight if you're going to let something go. You can let something go that is, as I say, life. You can have difficulty letting something go that's life demoting.
Yes, yes.
Because it's been so familiar.
Familiar.
Yeah, and so
Yes.
you kind of hold on. It's only when you allow, it's a natural thing too. Intuition is very natural. People, we all have difficulty accepting it, but it's the hunch. My mind told me something. I got a feeling that. All of those things indicate if we allow ourselves to listen to the message coming from intuition, we know.
Yes. And something you spoke about in your comments about the anxiety.
Yes.
That when we're anxious about something, it's harder for us to really tap into what Spirit is saying to us.
Okay.
I hear people often say that when they're in a relationship or a job or whatever it might be, that I feel like it's sucking the life out of me.
Yes.
And yet, even with that feeling, many
Yes.
people will hold on to the thing.
That's
because we feel, not only is it familiar to us, but also we feel like we can't imagine life without it.
Exactly.
And that's precisely the time for us to do one of the things that is your favorite word, one of your favorite words, and that is surrender.
Yes.
So I want to read this.
Go ahead.
This is from a Buddhist monk from many years ago. His name is Osho.
Okay.
And he wrote, "The essential surrender happens within you. It has nothing to do with anybody outside you.
You know what I say about that. Go
The
ahead.
basic surrender is a relaxation, a trust. So don't be misguided by the word. Don't be misguided by the word. Linguistically, surrender means to surrender to somebody. But spiritually,
Yes.
surrender simply means trust.
That's right.
It's an attitude rather than an act. And I think that is so important. When we're able to surrender, even the thing that is prized very highly to us.
Well, you know, that passage it's as though it's as though I collaborated with Osho, because what he says here is precisely what I've been trying to say about surrender. And I like what he did, though, because he helped me to understand that you can use the word trust, which is really an act of surrender, and to take it out of the usual understanding linguistically. That's helped a lot. So I just Osho and I are partners in this regard. So I just love it, and I like what he said at the very end. It's an act. I would say it's a state of mind.
A state, yeah.
A state of mind. So I like it very much.
So when we have the state of mind that the source is with us in every situation,
Yes.
to allow that to help us let go of our anxiety. That whether it's a job situation or relationship or health condition or whatever it might be, to be able to know when you've done enough. Because the anxiety comes down when you know the source is right there with you,
Yes.
guiding you, keeping you. And as the anxiety comes down, that intuition that Fred talked about, that intuition will guide you. It guides us in letting us know it is finished.
Yes.
It is enough.
Yes.
The season has run its course.
Yes.
And I pray for you, whatever circumstances you might be in, as you are discerning what your next steps might need to be, that you can have the peace to know that the source is with you and is speaking in so many different ways, letting you know when you've done enough. Blessings to you, and we'll see you next time on the couch.